Hi there, welcome to 2024. I wanted to check in with everybody and just see how everyone is doing now that we have this fresh blank slate in front of us that we call 2024. And we now get to decide how we want to write our story for the upcoming year. So if I'm being honest, when I woke up on the first day of January, I was feeling a little disappointed. My December didn't go exactly as I had planned. A few setbacks, I guess I could call it. So I was feeling disappointed with myself and not very happy with the progress that I had made. And just being a health coach and seeing my clients thrive, I was kind of disappointed and I don't know, maybe like a little envious of the progress that they had made and how far they had come. And then, me looking at like, I'm a health coach, I'm a life coach, and what have I done in the last month? So back in September, it was like around September 12th, I actually got sick. I got like a cold or a flu or COVID or I don't know what it was, but it went through our house and it kind of like, it stuck around with me, especially in one of my daughters, and it just kept on coming back stronger and stronger every single time. And I think by the time December had rolled around, I was already kind of tired and just tuckered out from having this cold come back again and again, and it seemed like with more intensity. And so by that time, pretty much my routines had fizzled out. Like I think I did 2 strength training sessions in December at the most, like 2 or 3. And my outdoor runs, which I had been doing at least 2 or 3 times a week. I was down to about 1 a week by the last couple of weeks of December, and just definitely not myself. So it finally went away, but by that time I was already sleeping in longer on weekends. I'm like a early to bed, early to rise, and I thrive on that. Like even on the weekends, I like to get up and get a workout in or go out and do something or go hiking, like some sort of activity. So for me to just, kind of like lay around reading a book, actually, you know what, I did read a lot more. So there is something good that did come out of it because I did make more time for reading. But anyway, I wasn't myself. And like even for me, I love being outside so much. That is like my absolute favorite thing to do, is just to be outside, whether it's like hiking or, there's all kinds of things to do outside. Even if it's just like feeding the birds, that's my happy place. And I had hardly been even doing any of that. My diet went downhill. I wasn't on a diet, but I like to watch what I eat. And I was finding myself like snacking at night before bed, and not healthy stuff, like junk, like chips or, ice cream sometimes or whatever it was. Even if it wasn't, deemed like an unhealthy food, it was something that I wasn't really wanting to do, a snack at night, and started doing that again. And when I woke up on January 1st, I was feeling really bloated and I was feeling tired, and I was just like, frankly, I was disgusted with myself. So I'm not saying that it's good to feel like that, but it definitely gave me a bit of a wake-up call. Like things had been going well for me all year long and I was reaching all of my goals. Like everything was just going fantastic. And so when I woke up on January 1st, I was like, what the heck happened? And I don't want to stay here. And how am I going to change this? So I came up with a way, to help myself. I'm going to be calling my coach again pretty soon. But also I thought there's probably a lot of people that are feeling like this. Like you just have no energy. You're feeling bloated and tired and all the things that I mentioned before, and maybe then some. Or maybe you're not feeling as bad, but you know that you can feel better. And here I want to give you the blueprint of how you can change all of that. I didn't introduce myself before, but my name is Angela Van Leeuwen. I'm a certified health and life coach. I took my training with the Health Coach Institute. They are one of the top rated health coaching schools in North America. They're amazing. Anyway, I want to share some of the things that I learned here. So now this is a bit of a blueprint, if you will. It's 5 ways that you can set your goals and achieve them. So grab a pen and a piece of paper, and I'm going to walk you through that. Okay, so hopefully you have your journal or your notebook or whatever and your pen handy. So write this down. So the first thing that you'll want to that you'll want to do, you are going to write down everything that is going well in your life. So I've come up with some examples here, so you don't, and of course, like you have your own, but think about all the things that are going well. So that could be maybe you lost some extra pounds in 2023. Maybe you didn't gain anything over the holidays. I gained like 5 pounds and I am not happy with myself over that, but whatever, it's temporary. It could be that you have a partner that supports you. That is huge for me. My husband, he supports me in everything that I do. There's so many studies to show, like, if you have a supportive partner, like just how far you can go in life. And I'm so blessed to have that. And you know what? Another thing, maybe you have nobody to answer to. Maybe you don't have that person in your life that you're like, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Like, no, you're your own person and you can do whatever you want. I mean, there's a lot of things that can be written down here that are going well. Like you had a career advancement, maybe you're changing careers, whatever it is, make a list. If it's going well, write it down. Number 2, I want you to write down your goals for the next 90 days. So we don't want to go too far in the future. I tend to like to go about 90 days out for the purpose of this. Like this is actually a workshop that I do. It's a little more involved than the steps that I'm going to give you here. And then, I mean, there's my 90-day program. So I've kind of like chunked that down into like a little bit of a blueprint that you can use here. But anyway, my point is don't go too far into the future. We also want to make sure that your goals are small enough that you can achieve them within that time frame, and that you're going to be stretching yourself out of your comfort zone. So it is best to choose just like 1 or 2 goals to focus on for the next 90 days. And my recommendation is to use a SMART method. So SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. And one tip that I wanted to share with you too, start going 90 days out, and then 60 days out, and then 30 days out, and then work it down from there. Number 3 on the list is you need to decide what your motivating factor is. So this is your why. Why do you want to make these changes? Why do you want to make these improvements? What is it for you? So let me see here. Is it that you have kids and you want to set a good example for them? That's a huge one. That's big for me, is I am always wanting to set a good example for my 2 daughters. They're teenagers now, and that's really important to me. What else do I have here as some examples? Oh, you know what? Health issues. A lot of people are pre-diabetic, or they have developed type 2 diabetes. And that's because, of some of the lifestyle choices that they've made. Like maybe they drink a lot of pop, or maybe they're not making as healthy a food as choices around food. And, it's one of those things where like, yeah, you shouldn't do it, but you're doing it anyway. And it's just like one of those cycles that's really hard to get out of. So anyway, that could be one of your motivating factors. Or fatty liver disease. That's another thing that's actually becoming really common, unfortunately. So whether it's to prevent health issues, or setting a good example for your kids, or maybe you just want to be more present in life. You just want to be here and you want to enjoy things. Okay, number 4 on the list is action steps. So you're going to need to come up with a plan to achieve the 1 or 2 goals that you've decided on. So your best plan, come up with some weekly actions and then track these actions in a journal or a notebook that you have, just to make sure that you're on track. So I would use a dedicated journal or a notebook here. Keep track of how you're feeling about these action steps, and then if there are any adjustments that you need to make along the way. So this could be an example, like maybe you wanted to work out 3 times per week, but you need to adjust your timing because you're just like, at the end of the day, you're just tuckered right out. So, if you're normally getting up at 6:30 to go to work, and now all of a sudden you're getting up at 5 and you're working out for an hour, and, you're finding that that's not sustainable, you're going to need to make those adjustments. So that's why these weekly action steps are really helpful, because that's where you can fine tune and tweak as necessary. Let's see, what else do I have here? Yeah, it's super easy to adjust them just so that they work better for you. You know what? Also, you need to make sure that you are being honest with yourself. So if you're waking up super early and you're like really tired, be honest with yourself and evaluate if they're truly not working, or if that's just you wanting to go back to your old ways and back to your comfort zone, because that's where a lot of people give up, is when they're like, oh, well, this is kind of hard and I don't really like it, so I'm just going to go back to the old ways. And that's when you are right back where you started. The last thing on the list, number 5, you need to set up accountability. This is the absolute key that is going to keep you on track. And without it, the majority of the people are not going to achieve their goals. So there's a number of ways that you can do this. Track your progress. So using a journal, notebook, or a calendar, you want to see the progress that you've made, and that will keep you going. Set up a reward system. This is really helpful too. So celebrate the wins along the way, and don't just set up like a reward system where at the end of the 90 days after you've worked really hard for 12 weeks straight, you get a new shirt. No, celebrate the small wins along the way, and that's going to help you with your progress. So this could be a new pair of shoes. It could be a new workout from your favorite store, a night out with friends or family. And you know what, if you're going to go out with friends and family, I recommend like bowling or an escape room or go dancing. So you still want to stay on track with your goals. So for example, if your goal is weight loss, you don't want to go out for a dinner that's going to throw your progress out the window. Probably makes sense. And make these rewards empowering celebrations of your success. Next, you can get an accountability partner. So it could be a friend or a family member. It could be a colleague at work. Perhaps somebody that you know that goes to the same gym as you, goes to the same church as you. Make sure that they are fully aware of your goals, and set up a system that works for both of you so that you're checking in at specific times of the week, so that they're expecting you to give them a call and be like, hey, I said I was going to work out 3 days this week. I did work out 3 days this week, and they're going to celebrate that with you. You can also hire a coach, and this is probably the single most effective way to stay on track. So when you hire a certified health or life coach, it is not only their purpose in life, I know that's my purpose in life, to help you win. It's good for my business too. So I'm trained to have you do everything that we talked about before and a lot more. So those are the 5 steps. As a recap, you're going to write everything down that is going well in your life. You're going to write down your goals for the next 90 days and break them down 90, 60, and 30 days. Decide what your motivating factor is. Why are you doing this? Write down your action steps and complete those weekly. And last but not least, set up accountability. If you are thinking of working with a coach and you think that would be helpful, I would love to have that conversation with you. So you can find me on my website, which is angelavwellness.com. You can find me on social media. All my handles are something around like Angela V Wellness. I'm really easy to find. And let's set up a call and find out how I can help you, or maybe there's another coach that would be better for what it is that you need. I typically work with women, I would say probably between the ages of about 25 to 55, that really have a lot going on. So pretty much somebody like me. I have like a very, very full schedule. And for me in the beginning, it was really difficult to like for one thing, to figure out like, what should I do that is going to give me the most bang for my buck with this really small period of time that I have to work with this. And I worked with my coach. I figured that out. And like I said, I was thriving before I got sick, and I finally got just like, kind of, sounds a little extreme, but down and out in December, and I am ready to go again. So if that is something that you want to learn how to do, and you just want to cut through the noise and figure out what's best for you, I would love to hear from you. I hope you have an amazing day and an even better 2024, and we'll talk to you again soon.